We're diving deep into a particular gem from the 1950s, the 1952 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Not only is it a piece of history, but some of these pennies are worth thousands of dollars today. Let's find out why. If you're a collector or just starting out, you may have heard of the 1952 penny. But do you know why it's worth so much? Let's explore its history, how to identify it, and the factors that can make a 1952 penny worth far more than its face value. The 1952 Lincoln penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint, which is denoted by the S mint mark on the reverse of the coin. The penny, featuring the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, was struck as part of a series of regular issue coins used during the 1950s. However, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. The 1952 penny is often overlooked because it wasn't produced in huge numbers compared to other years, but this makes it unique. Let's break down why this seemingly modest penny has risen in value. Now, here's where things get interesting. The 1952 penny wasn't minted in as large of a quantity as other years. In fact, just over 81 million were produced in San Francisco. While this might seem like a lot, the real reason these pennies are worth thousands is because of their rarity in certain conditions. The most valuable 1952 pennies are those in mint state condition, meaning they have no signs of wear and still have sharp details. These higher grades can fetch incredible amounts of money in today's market. So how do you know if you've got one of these rare pennies? First, check the mint mark. Look for the S just beneath the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse of the penny. Next, inspect the condition of the coin. A 1952 penny in uncirculated or high-grade condition can be worth quite a bit. If your penny looks almost as good as the day it was minted, without any major scratches, discoloration, or wear, you may have something special on your hands. Some 1952 pennies have sold for thousands of dollars in recent years. The key factors that determine their value include their condition, rarity, and demand from collectors. For example, a well-preserved 1952 penny graded as MS65 by PCGS or NGC can easily sell for over $1,000. And in some cases, rare specimens in higher grades can push that price into the $3,000 to $5,000 range. These pennies are coveted by collectors who are looking for the rarest and most pristine examples from the 1950s. Since the 1952 is one of the lower mintage coins of that decade, finding one in top condition is a collector's dream. Have a 1952 penny that you think could be worth a fortune? Get it professionally graded. You can send it to companies like PCGS or NGC for authentication and grading. This can greatly increase its value, as buyers and collectors always trust professionally graded coins. Grading services assess the coin's quality based on its wear, luster, and overall appearance. Once you know the grade, you'll have a clearer idea of its market value. The 1952 penny is a prime example of how a small, seemingly ordinary coin can hold so much value, if you know what to look for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, the thrill of discovering a coin that could be worth thousands is something that keeps us all searching. So, if you happen to find a 1952 penny in your pocket change or in a collection, take a moment to examine it closely. It could be the key to unlocking thousands of dollars. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American coinage, the 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. It might seem like just another coin from the 60s, but believe me, this little penny is worth thousands of dollars. Let's break down its history, why it's so valuable today, and how you can spot one in your collection. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more rare coin insights. Let's get started. So, what makes the 1965 Lincoln penny so special? Let's rewind the clock to 1965. The United States was going through a lot of changes during the mid-60s. The country was in the midst of the space race, and social changes were sweeping across the nation. But what many people don't know is that 1965 was a key year for U.S. coinage. In 1965, the U.S. Mint stopped using silver in most of its coinage, including dimes and quarters. The shift to copper-nickel alloys affected a lot of the designs and processes. But here's the thing. The 1965 penny was made at the Philadelphia Mint, and it was the last year the penny was struck without a mint mark. That's right, There's no D for Denver or S for San Francisco, and that simple, small change would make this penny highly sought after by collectors. Now, you might be wondering, why did the 1965 penny not have a mint mark? Well, the story is a bit of a mystery. Typically, coins made at the Philadelphia Mint have no mint mark, while those made in Denver or San Francisco do. However, 1965 marked a year when the mint took a break from mint marking most of its coins. This led to some confusion, and over the years, the 1965 penny without a mint mark became an iconic and rare find. Collectors have long debated the reasons behind this. Some say it was due to the rapid changes in the production process during the transition to copper-nickel alloy coins. Others believe it was simply an oversight. But what's clear is that the 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny has become a treasure trove for numismatists. Now, let's get to the juicy part. Why is this penny worth thousands of dollars? Most 1965 pennies are worth only a few cents, but that special no-mint mark variety? That's a different story. Here's the deal. Due to its rarity and the fact that it was struck in such a pivotal year, collectors pay top dollar for a well-preserved 1965 no-mint mark penny. The value can vary depending on the coin's condition. For example, if you have a 1965 penny in MS 65, mint state 65, or higher condition, it could be worth anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000. In rare cases, if you happen to find one in absolutely pristine condition, it could fetch even more. There are some rumors that one has even sold for upwards of $10,000 at auction, though those are very rare and in perfect condition. Now, how do you spot this rare penny? It's actually pretty simple. All you need to do is check for two things. First, make sure it's a 1965 penny. You can easily spot this by checking the year stamped on the coin. Then, flip it over and look for the mint mark. If there's no D or S on the reverse, then you've got yourself a 1965 no mint mark penny. But here's the trick. Condition is key. Coins that have been well preserved with little wear are the ones that fetch the highest prices. Look for coins with a clean, sharp image of Lincoln's portrait and a strong, clear date. So, let's say you found one of these pennies in your change, or you're looking to buy one. Where do you go? If you have a 1965 no mint mark penny and you're considering selling, your best bet is to head to reputable coin dealers or online auction sites like eBay. Just be sure to get the coin graded by a professional service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, before you sell or buy. The grade will determine the price. Who knew that a simple penny from 1965 could be worth so much, right? Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, keep an eye out for that elusive 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Could be hiding in your pocket change right now. So, what do you think? Do you have a 1965 penny in your collection? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more coin collecting tips, rare finds, and history. We're diving deep into a unique and highly sought-after penny, the 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1 cent. This little coin, minted over 5 decades ago, is more valuable than you might think. Stick around as we explore the history of this coin, its significance, and why some of these pennies can fetch thousands of dollars today. Camera cuts to a historical shot of the U.S. Mint, then zooms in on archival images of 1968 pennies being struck. First, let's rewind to 1968. This was a year of significant change for the United States, with the country in the midst of social and political upheaval. The Vietnam War was ongoing, and civil rights movements were gaining ground. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was busy producing billions of pennies to meet the demands of the growing economy. Cut to close-up of the 1968 Lincoln penny. Now, the 1968 penny is special because it was minted during a transition in U.S. coinage. You may notice it doesn't have a mint mark. In fact, that's the key to its rarity. In 1968, the U.S. Mint made a crucial decision to stop placing mint marks on coins from the Philadelphia Mint. This means that if you have a 1968 penny without a mint mark, it was struck in Philadelphia, the only U.S. mint that didn't use a mark during that year. Camera shows a detailed view of the obverse and reverse of the 1968 penny. focusing on the image of Abraham Lincoln and the wheat ears on the back. The design of the 1968 penny is the same as the one first introduced in 1909. The obverse features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse shows two stalks of wheat, symbolizing America's agricultural roots. Camera transitions to a shot of rare coin auctions and high-value Lincoln pennies being sold. Now, let's talk about the most exciting part, the value. While most 1968 pennies are worth just 1 cent, some can sell for much, much more. The key is finding one in excellent condition or with unique features that make it stand out. Zoom in on a well-preserved 1968 penny in excellent condition. Pennies in uncirculated condition, those with minimal wear and a clean, sharp appearance, are the ones that can fetch a premium price. In fact, some 1968 no-mint Mark Lincoln pennies have been known to sell for thousands of dollars at auction. As mentioned, uncirculated or high-grade coins are much more valuable. Coins graded MS-65 or higher can fetch thousands of dollars. Some 1968 pennies show unique errors, like double strikes or off-center designs. These mistakes can significantly increase a coin's worth. Rare coins with historical significance or unique features, like a 1968 no-mint Mark penny, are always in demand among collectors. Camera cuts to auction house footage or online auction sites showing real-life sales of 1968 no-mint Mark pennies. Let's take a look at some real-world examples. In recent years, well-preserved 1968 no-mint Mark pennies in gem condition have been sold for up to $10,000 at auction. That's right, thousands of dollars for a penny that was originally worth just 1 cent. Camera zooms in on a coin magnifier, showing the detailed inspection of a 1968 penny's features. So, how can you spot a valuable 1968 penny? Start by looking for signs of wear. If the details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks on the reverse are clear and sharp, you're looking at a coin in great condition. If you spot any errors like doubling or misalignment, that's even better. And of course, always remember that coins from the Philadelphia Mint in 1968 will not have a mint mark. If you happen to find a 1968 no-mint Mark penny in your collection, make sure to get it appraised. It might just be worth more than you think. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and enthusiasts. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1969 D-Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. We'll explore its rich history, why it's so valuable today, and how you might have a coin worth thousands of dollars in your own collection. So, let's get started. Before we get into the value of this coin, let's take a moment to appreciate the history behind it. The 1969 D Lincoln penny was struck at the Denver Mint, which is where the D-Mint mark comes from. The Lincoln penny itself was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, and has been one of the most iconic coins in American history. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the Lincoln cent has remained largely unchanged, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and the iconic wheat stalks on the reverse. But not all 1969 D pennies are created equal. Most 1969 D pennies are fairly common, with millions being minted that year. In fact, over 3 billion pennies were produced at the Denver Mint in 1969. So, you might be wondering, what makes some of these pennies worth thousands of dollars? The key to unlocking the value of a 1969 D penny lies in a rare and sought-after error, the double die obverse. This is a type of error where the die that struck the coin has been misaligned, causing a doubling effect on certain details of the design, particularly on the date and the letters in Liberty and In God We Trust. When these coins were minted, the misalignment led to the distinctive doubling effect, which has become one of the most well-known and valuable coin errors in American numismatics. Now, if you're lucky enough to have one of these error coins, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Of course, for a 1969 D double die penny to reach its full value, it must be in good condition and, ideally, graded by a reputable coin grading company. Coins that are in higher grades, such as MS-65 and above, can be worth thousands of dollars at auction. In fact, a 1969 D double die penny in high grade has sold for as much as $30,000 or more. However, Even pennies with a lower grade can fetch substantial amounts. Some have been known to sell for several $100s, depending on their condition. So, how do you spot one of these rare error pennies in your collection? Start by carefully examining the date and lettering on the obverse of the coin. If you see any doubling, particularly on the 9 in 1969, or in Liberty, or In God We Trust, you may have found a valuable treasure. Use a magnifying glass or a loupe to get a closer look, and if you're still unsure, it might be worth taking your coin to a professional for evaluation. And remember, the rarity of the error, combined with the coin's condition, directly affects its value. Look for visible doubling on the date, especially the 9, check the word Liberty, and In God We Trust for any doubled letters. Ensure the coin is in good to excellent condition, with minimal wear. Consider getting the coin graded to determine its true value. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any future coin collection tips and value guides. And remember, always keep your eyes peeled, because you might just have a rare gem hiding in your pocket change. We're diving into a fascinating coin, the 1970 Lincoln 1-cent penny. It's a coin that might seem pretty ordinary at first glance. But did you know it has some interesting history and can be worth thousands of dollars in certain conditions? Stick around to find out why this penny might be hiding in your collection. On screen, images of the U.S. Mint, a few 1970 pennies, and a timeline graphic. The Lincoln penny, designed by Victor David Brenner, has been in circulation since 1909. But today, we're specifically talking about the 1970 penny, which was struck at the Denver Mint in the United States. While 1970 may not seem like a milestone year in history, it was a significant time for the U.S. Mint, as it marked a year of transition and scarcity for certain coins. In 1970, there were some major shifts happening at the U.S. Mint. The 1970 penny is a part of the series of pennies that were struck in high numbers, with over 3.3 billion of them produced that year. So why are some of them worth so much today? Let's get into that. Close-up of a 1970 penny showing different angles. Close-up of the mint mark. Most 1970 pennies aren't particularly rare in terms of mintage. However, the key to their value lies in the condition of the coin and certain special features. You see, the 1970 penny wasn't the most meticulously struck coin. In fact, there were several known issues with these coins, particularly in how they were produced at the Denver Mint. The most famous of these issues is the 1970 double die obverse, a coin where the design was struck multiple times, creating a noticeable doubling effect on the letters and numbers of the obverse. This error makes the coin incredibly sought after by collectors. And that's what leads us to the real value of these pennies. Images of the 1970 double die obverse penny, showing the doubled features on the date and lettering. Now, let's talk about the big value factor, the double die error. The 1970 double die pennies were minted with an issue where the obverse design was misaligned, causing the features like the Liberty and the date 1970 to appear twice. This is a major minting error that only a small fraction of the 1970 pennies have, and it makes them worth a fortune. Depending on the condition and the quality of the doubling, a 1970 double die penny can be worth anywhere from a few $100s to several $1,000s. In fact, some of these rare error pennies have been known to sell for over $10,000 at auction. A magnifying glass zooming in on the features of the 1970 penny, highlighting the doubled letters and numbers. Wondering how to spot a 1970 double die penny? It's not always easy, but there are a few things to look for. Check the date, particularly the 7, 0, and 1. If you can see clear, distinct doubling or shadowing around these digits, you've got yourself a potential valuable error coin. Next, examine the word Liberty. You should notice a similar doubling effect there. It's all about the details, but make sure to use a magnifying glass or even a loupe to get a close look, as the doubling is subtle. On screen, footage of various auction sites, including eBay listings for 1970 pennies. As for the current value, like I said earlier, it depends on the coin's condition and the extent of the error. A 1970D double-die penny in good condition could go for around $1,000 to $2,000, while one in mint condition can fetch upwards of $10,000 or more. If you're lucky enough to have one in your collection, you might want to get it appraised by a professional. You can sell these rare coins at major auctions, through coin dealers, or even online on platforms like eBay, where collectors from all over the world are hunting for valuable finds. A recap of the 1970D penny, with text highlighting rare, valuable, and collectible. To wrap it up, the 1970D Lincoln penny may seem like just another penny, but for collectors and coin enthusiasts, it holds great value, especially when you find one with the double die error. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most unexpected coins can be worth a lot more than you'd think. So, check your change and coin collection. You never know what you might have hiding in there. We're diving deep into one of the most intriguing coins from the 1970s, the 1971 Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Did you know that certain versions of this penny are worth thousands of dollars? Stick around to discover why. First, let's set the stage with some history. The 1971 South Lincoln 1-center penny was struck at the San Francisco Mint. This year marked a period of transition, with the U.S. Mint making slight changes to the design of the coin, and with the Mint focusing on producing high-quality proofs for collectors. Now, as with most pennies, the obverse features Abraham Lincoln's profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse shows the famous Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design has remained the same for many years, making it a timeless piece of American history. Here's the catch. The 1971 penny with the S mint mark was originally minted in very limited numbers, specifically as part of a proof set. Proof coins are struck with a special process to ensure a flawless finish. These coins are intended for collectors, and that's exactly where the value lies. While most 1971 pennies are worth just 1 cent, there's a significant difference when it comes to the proof version. The 1971 S-proof penny was sold as part of the annual proof set, but certain coins from this batch are much more valuable today due to their exceptional quality and rarity. Let's talk numbers. While a regular 1971 S penny in circulation condition is worth only a few cents, a 1971 S-proof penny in pristine condition can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50, depending on the grade. But here's the kicker. If you find a 1971 S penny with a unique error or in perfect mint state, it could be worth thousands of dollars. Coins with minting errors, such as double die or unusual misstrikes, are highly sought after by collectors. For example, if your 1971 S penny has a noticeable error on the Lincoln Memorial or Lincoln's portrait, you could have a rare find that's worth thousands of dollars. Let's break it down. A well-graded proof 1971 S penny can easily be valued in the range of $50 to $500, but if it has an error, especially a significant one like a double die, it can reach $2,000 or more at auction. Some specimens in perfect condition, graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, have been known to go for even higher prices. Coins like these show up at coin auctions, online marketplaces, and at coin shows. So, if you've got a 1971 S penny lying around in your collection or in your pocket change, make sure to get it inspected. It could be worth far more than you ever imagined. So, what's the bottom line? The 1971 South Lincoln 1-center penny is a highly collectible coin, especially in proof condition. But the real treasure lies in its rarity and potential errors. A well-preserved, error-free coin could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. If you enjoyed learning about this fascinating piece of American history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more coin collecting tips and insights. And if you've got a 1971 S penny, be sure to check it out. Who knows? You might be holding a small fortune in your hand. We're diving into a hidden treasure of U.S. coinage, the 1973 D. Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might have one of these pennies sitting in your collection right now, but did you know it could be worth thousands of dollars? Stay tuned as we uncover the fascinating history of this coin and its current value in today's market. Let's get started. Cut to a shot of the U.S. Mint building. The 1973 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver during a pivotal time in American history. It's part of the famous Lincoln series, which began in 1909, honoring President Abraham Lincoln. The Lincoln penny features the beloved portrait of Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner on the obverse, while the reverse shows a classic wheat stalk design. However, by 1959, the wheat stalks were replaced with the Lincoln Memorial to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Show close-up of the 1973 D Lincoln penny, focusing on the reverse side showing the Lincoln Memorial. In 1973, the U.S. Mint was in the midst of producing billions of pennies each year to meet demand. The D mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in Denver, and it's one of the most commonly found pennies from that year. So, what makes this seemingly ordinary penny stand out in the world of numismatics? Let's find out. Cut to a shot of several different 1973 D pennies lined up, showcasing different conditions. The key to the 1973 D penny's potential value lies in its rarity and condition. Most 1973 D pennies are relatively easy to find, as they were produced in massive quantities, over 4 billion to be exact. However, what makes a 1973 D penny truly valuable are its exceptional conditions and unique characteristics. Coins in uncirculated or gem quality grades can fetch much higher prices at auction or among collectors. To determine if your 1973 D penny is a rare gem, it's important to know how to grade it. Pennies in grades of MS65 and higher are the ones that collectors are paying big money for. These coins are free of blemishes, scratches, and wear, and still retain their original luster. In fact, an uncirculated 1973 D penny in gem quality can be worth hundreds of dollars. Not all 1973 D pennies are created equal, and that's where things get exciting for collectors. A certain group of 1973 D pennies has gained attention due to rare mint errors. These error coins can command even higher values. One of the most sought-after variations of the 1973 D penny is the double die error. If you look closely at the coin's date or lettering, you might notice doubling. This happened during the minting process when the die was misaligned, causing the image to strike the coin twice. Depending on the extent of the error, these coins can sell for thousands of dollars. Now, let's talk numbers. The value of a typical 1973 D penny in average circulated condition is just worth 1 cent, but when it comes to high-quality, uncirculated specimens, values can soar into the hundreds, sometimes even over $1,000 depending on the condition and error type. And for those lucky enough to find an error coin, well, that's where the big bucks come in. Some of these coins have been sold for thousands at auctions, especially those with significant double die errors or unique characteristics. Cut to a shot of a magnifying glass over the coin, showing detailed inspection techniques. So, how do you spot a valuable 1973 D penny in your collection? Here are some quick tips. Look for exceptional quality, coins that are in uncirculated or MS65 and higher grades. Search for any noticeable mint errors, especially the double die varieties. Inspect the coin for well-defined details, clear strike marks, and minimal wear and tear. Show a collection of rare pennies, including a 1973 D, and slowly zoom in on one with a mint error. While the 1973 D Lincoln penny may seem like a common coin, there's a lot more to it than meets the eye. With its rich history, rarity in top condition, and potential for error varieties, it's a must-have for any serious collector. If you have one of these pennies, make sure to check its condition and any potential mint errors. You could be sitting on a rare treasure worth thousands of dollars. Fade to a shot of the YouTube channel's logo and call to action. We're diving into the fascinating world of rare coins, focusing on the 1975 D Mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. This seemingly ordinary penny might just be sitting in your pocket, but could it be worth thousands of dollars? Stick around to learn its history, why it's so valuable, and how you can spot one that's worth more than you might expect. Let's start with a little history. In 1975, the United States Mint continued producing the Lincoln penny, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. It was part of the series first introduced in 1909, celebrating Lincoln's 100th birthday. Cut to a visual of the 1975 D penny, showing its design in detail. Minted in Denver, the 1975 D penny has the distinct D Mint mark, signifying it was struck at the Denver Mint. At first glance, it looks like just another copper penny. But this coin has a few surprises up its sleeve. Many of the valuable 1975 pennies are actually rare error coins or have unique features that make them stand out. For example, there are double die errors, where the image is stamped twice, causing a noticeable shift in the design. These rare errors can significantly increase the value of the penny. Collectors pay top dollar for these anomalies, and it's not just the regular 1975 D penny that's valuable. Cut to images of auction results and recent sales of the 1975 D penny. A typical 1975 D penny in average circulated condition is worth just a few cents. But if you have one with a double die error or other rare features, it can fetch upwards of $1,000 or more at auction. The most valuable 1975 D pennies are those with minting errors, like the double die obverse or even rare clash die examples, where the design from another coin partially shows up on your penny. Cut to a coin collector examining a 1975 D double die penny under a magnifying glass. Certain pristine uncirculated examples can also be worth thousands if they've been well preserved and graded by a professional numismatic organization like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. So, how do you find out if your 1975 D penny could be worth thousands? Here are some tips to help you spot the valuable ones. Cut to visuals showing magnified close-ups of the coin's details. First, examine the lettering and numbers for any signs of doubling. Look closely at Lincoln's head and the word Liberty. If there's noticeable doubling, you may have a double die error. Show the comparison between a normal and a double die penny. Next, inspect the reverse for any clashing or unusual marks that might indicate a clash die error. If you find one of these rare errors, your penny could be worth a small fortune. Text appears, "How to sell your valuable penny." Now that you know how to spot a valuable 1975 D penny, you might be wondering how to sell it for top dollar. Show images of auction houses and online marketplaces. To maximize your return, consider submitting your coin for professional grading. A certified coin will be more attractive to collectors and can fetch a higher price in auctions or from reputable dealers. So, while most 1975 D pennies are worth only a few cents, a rare error coin could easily make you thousands. Always check your pennies carefully. Who knows? You might have a small treasure sitting in your pocket right now. Cut to a shot of the host holding a magnifying glass over the 1975 D penny. We're diving into a fascinating piece of American history, the 1978 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. Now, this penny might look like any other to the untrained eye, but it has a few key features that could make it worth thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right, thousands. Music fades out, and a more informative tone starts. Let's start with the basics. The Lincoln 1-cent coin has been in circulation since 1909, and by 1978 it had been through many changes. The penny has always featured the profile of Abraham Lincoln, but what makes the 1978 penny unique is something subtle: its lack of a mint mark. Normally, U.S. pennies have a mint mark indicating where they were produced. The D for Denver, the S for San Francisco, and the P for Philadelphia. But the 1978 no-mint mark penny was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which was standard at the time. The absence of a mint mark on this specific coin means it's not particularly rare in terms of production, but it's special for another reason. So why are some of these pennies worth thousands? It all comes down to something called error coins. During the 1978 production year, some pennies were mistakenly struck with a faint or missing mint mark, causing them to become rare collector's items. These rare error pennies were originally overlooked by the public, but as coin collectors began to spot them, their value skyrocketed. Coins with a missing mint mark, combined with certain other rare features, such as unusual die conditions, or even doubling of the design, can make these 1978 pennies highly sought after by collectors. Now, you might be wondering, how much is a 1978 no-mint mark penny really worth today? Well, it depends on the coin's condition. A standard 1978 no-mint mark penny, in good condition, might only fetch around 1 to 2 cents. But if you have a 1978 penny in exceptional condition, let's say a gem uncirculated one, You could be looking at a value of up to $10 to $20, or maybe even more if it's from a particularly rare variety. And, of course, if you find one of those error pennies, you could see values that reach thousands of dollars, especially if it's graded by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Some error pennies from this year have been sold for upwards of $10,000. Let's talk about how you can spot these valuable pennies. First, check for the missing mint mark. Obviously, the coin should have no mint mark, just the usual Liberty, and In God We Trust on the front, with Lincoln's profile. Next, look for any other abnormalities in the design, like doubled lettering or other unusual features. If you spot something that looks different, it's a good idea to get it professionally graded. Thinking about selling your 1978 no mint mark penny? You can sell it through online auction sites like eBay, at coin shops, or even through dedicated online coin dealers. Just make sure to get it professionally appraised if you think it might be valuable. So, there you have it. The 1978 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny might just be hiding in your spare change, and it could be worth a lot more than you think. Always be sure to check your pennies carefully. You never know what hidden treasures you might find. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for more coin collecting tips and history. And if you have a 1978 penny or any other rare coin, drop a comment below and let me know what you've discovered. See you next time. Outro music fades in end screen with channel logo and subscription reminders. We're diving into a fascinating and rare find, the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it might look like any other penny, but there's a twist. This coin could be worth thousands of dollars. So what makes this penny so special? Stick around as we explore its history, rarity, and how you can spot a 1980 no mint mark penny that's worth a fortune. Let's take a step back in time. The 1980 penny was minted in the midst of the 1980s, a decade marked by significant changes in U.S. currency. The U.S. Mint, which has operated in multiple locations across the country, produced the standard copper pennies that year, but something interesting happened in 1980. The 1980 penny, originally thought to be a standard coin, was issued without a mint mark. Typically, coins from the Philadelphia Mint carry no mint mark, while those from Denver and San Francisco do. However, the absence of the mint mark on some 1980 pennies raised the curiosity of collectors. At the time, the Philadelphia Mint had no specific reason to omit the mint mark, but a handful of these pennies were released into circulation, making them exceptionally rare today. So why is this seemingly ordinary penny worth so much? Well, its rarity and the mystery behind its minting play a huge role in its value. Most pennies from 1980 are fairly common, but the ones without a mint mark are far fewer in number. Some estimates suggest only a small percentage of the 1980 pennies were struck without mint marks, and finding one in excellent condition today is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure. Now, you might be wondering, how do you identify a 1980 penny worth thousands of dollars? Well, first and foremost, look for the absence of the mint mark on the reverse side of the coin. If there's no mint mark under the E pluribus unum motto, you've got yourself a rare find. Next, condition is key. A penny in excellent or uncirculated condition will fetch significantly more. Some of these pennies, especially those in gem-grade quality, have sold for upwards of $1,000 or more at auction. But don't get discouraged. Pennies in good, circulated condition can still command a few $100s, depending on their state. If you think you've found a 1980 no mint mark penny in your change jar, don't just toss it aside. Carefully examine it for any signs of wear, and if it looks promising, get it graded by a professional. A high-grade penny could be worth far more than its face value. Coin grading services like PCGS and NGC can help you determine the exact value of your penny. If it's in exceptional condition, it might be worth thousands. Now you know all about the 1980 no mint mark Lincoln penny and why it's one of the hidden treasures of U.S. currency. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more rare coin discoveries. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 1985 no mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has captured the interest of numismatists and collectors for its unique value potential. Stay tuned to learn about its history, what makes it special, and why it could be worth thousands of dollars. Before we get into the exciting part, the value, let's first talk about the 1985 Lincoln Penny's history and design. The 1985 Lincoln Penny features a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, and was first minted in 1909. For the last century, this coin has been a staple of American currency. The 1985 penny is a part of the U.S. Mint's ongoing effort to celebrate Lincoln's legacy. However, what sets 1985 apart is not just the design. It's the minting anomaly that has made certain 1985 pennies worth more than just their face value. Like most pennies produced in the 1980s, the reverse features the iconic Lincoln Memorial. The no-mint mark version of this penny, however, is what draws special attention. So what exactly does no-mint mark mean? For pennies minted in 1985, the U.S. Mint produced coins without the mint mark. This means no D for Denver or S for San Francisco. The minting facility that created these coins was in Philadelphia, which historically does not use a mint mark for its coins. So, while most people see no mint mark as normal, some 1985 pennies, especially those with specific features, can be worth a lot more than you might think. Now let's talk value. Most 1985 pennies are worth just 1 cent in their regular condition. However, when you find a coin that's in exceptional condition, or one that has been professionally graded, its value can skyrocket. Pennies that are graded in uncirculated or mint state condition are in high demand. For example, a 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny in mint state, such as MS-65 or higher, can fetch anywhere from $10 to $50. But what about the rarer gems? If the coin is in pristine, uncirculated condition and has been well preserved, it could be worth thousands of dollars. A 1985 no-mint mark penny in MS-67 condition, for example, has sold at auction for over $2,000. These high-grade specimens are sought after by collectors looking for rare, well-preserved pieces. So, how can you tell if your 1985 no-mint mark penny might be one of these valuable finds? The first step is to look at its condition. Coins with a lot of wear, like scratches, discoloration, or damage, will be worth far less. The most valuable 1985 pennies are those that have sharp, clean features, no signs of wear, and little to no imperfections. Next, make sure to carefully inspect the coin for any unique features or errors that could further increase its value. Look for things like double die errors, which can add a significant premium to its price. If you're unsure about your coin's authenticity or value, it's always a good idea to have it professionally appraised or graded by a trusted service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. To recap, the 1985 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might look like any other penny from the era, but if you have one that's well-preserved or even better, graded and certified, you could be holding onto a coin worth thousands of dollars. We're diving into a penny that might just be hiding in your change jar right now, the 2002 mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might be surprised to learn how valuable this little coin can actually be. Stick around to find out why this penny is worth thousands of dollars in some cases. First, let's take a quick look at the history of the 2002 Lincoln penny. In 2002, the U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies, as usual, with both the Philadelphia and Denver mints contributing to the supply. But what makes the 2002 penny so special? And why is it gaining attention in the coin collecting world? The 2002 penny features a classic design, a portrait of Abraham Lincoln by Victor David Brenner on the obverse, with the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, it's the subtle imperfections and special varieties that have caused the 2002 mint mark penny to rise in value among collectors. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most 2002 pennies are worth just 1 cent, but there are a few rare varieties that can fetch thousands of dollars. These are usually in uncirculated or near-mint condition. Let's break down what makes these pennies so valuable. One of the key factors contributing to the higher value is the grade. Pennies that have been well preserved, with no visible wear and sharp details, are much more valuable than those with scratches or discoloration. A 2002 penny in gem uncirculated condition graded by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, could be worth hundreds of dollars. But if you're lucky enough to find one with an error, you're looking at a potential windfall. Let's talk about the real treasure error coins. One of the most famous error types for the 2002 D penny is the D over D variety. This happens when the Denver Mint accidentally struck the D mint mark over a previous D mint mark, causing a noticeable doubling effect. These doubled mint marks are rare and can be worth anywhere from $500 to $2,000, depending on the coin's condition. A well-preserved specimen with a clear, visible error could fetch thousands of dollars from collectors eager to get their hands on this unique piece of history. Wondering where to find a 2002 D penny worth thousands? It's all about keeping your eyes peeled. Check your change and inspect each penny carefully. The key to identifying rare coins lies in the details. Look for clear errors, especially on the mint mark, and check the overall condition. And if you think you've found one, make sure to have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. When it comes time to sell, you have several options. You can list it on online marketplaces like eBay, where rare pennies often attract bids from collectors. Alternatively, you can take it to coin shops or auctions, where experts can help you determine its true value. So there you have it, the 2002 D Lincoln penny. While most of these coins are worth just 1 cent, those in great condition or with special errors can be worth thousands of dollars. The lesson here? Keep checking your change, because that 1 penny could turn into a small fortune. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and their hidden value, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more coin collecting tips. Let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare penny.